are very beautiful tables are so strict. Can you believe it spit a dead free ball out?
Well, clearly Fabio wasn't comfortable with it. He had a good look at it, so it must have been touch or go. And this isn't necessarily the best leave that Kasparas has got on the 4 here, so still up against it somewhat, needs to come up with a shot.
And looks like he's going to run into the 9 ball after contact. Don't think the 9 goes to the left bottom. I think it will run towards the 8 ball after contact.
Yeah, good spot. And he played it soft enough that the cue ball didn't roll up closer to any rail. Again, this right centre pocket coming back into play here, Joris.
Again, indeed. It's the second time they're going to shoot towards this right side pocket. The entrance is pretty small, needs to be very accurate. And Kasparas Budnikas showed he is made from the right wood. The 18-year-old player, extremely talented, and well, the Lithuanian school is giving a nice product by this player. But that miss was absolutely not necessary.
No, that was not. Look where it's come down to, Joris.
No, and he didn't do anything with the cue ball because the 7 ball is laying there. So I think there was quite some body movement involved. In the meantime, it's Fabio Rizzi who is scratching on the 6 ball. Wow, what a first wreck we are witnessing.
You wouldn't have picked that, would you?
No, indeed,
Wow.
He had to draw that out, but I would have expected to land above the side pocket.
Well, avoided any scratch with that shot and has come around nicely for the 8, and a little bit of scrappiness in this opening rack. I can imagine we won't be seeing too much of that, but yeah, Kasparas Budnikas on his break takes the opening rack, and it will be Fabio to break in this alternate break format. We are at the winners qualification stage in the, well, in this men's 9-ball event, but also in the women's and under 23s. Over on table 1 right now, Dimitri Jungo from Switzerland is taking on the tough Petri Mäkinen from Finland. And table 3 is another corker as well. Matthias Snegocki takes on Marcus Schleindler. 3 matches being streamed for you right now. This one already looking like it's going to be an entertaining one. Fabio to break.
Made a ball in the side and enough balls into the kitchen, which makes this a legal break, and it's Fabio to continue. And the dots are quite easy to connect. He has to make the 2-ball go around the 6, pretty close to where he is right now, but then of course not snooker himself behind that 4-ball.
Yeah.
It's a little bit short here. Bit short, Kevin.
Yeah.
And I think this still cuts back, but the 4 is there too, so I think he will duck and hide behind the 7 here.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That was going to be very difficult to get the cue ball up and down the table to come back for the 4, including the fact that 3 was tricky. This, well, not the easiest of safeties to get out of. If he can come around that side of the 7, it might be a bit easier.
Yeah, it's a very difficult one. Looks like he's going for one real kick shot. Can't blame him either, but this is so difficult to judge. And he hit it. And looks like he is getting it safe either, so nice kick shot by Kasparas.
That's not a bad result at all. Great hit. Fabio probably looking to go on the defense again. He's got a good cue ball. Looks like he's got cover with the 8.
Now the 9 ball is a bit in the way for the kick shot from the right, but I think he can still have a little bit of rail side between the 9 ball and the right side pocket. If he can get there, he will maybe even get below the 3 ball. Hit it full in the face. And looks like again some nice resave.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all.
No, and take a look at the 5 ball, Kevin. It's laying there very awkward for Fabio to make the kick shot from this right rail. If he's taking a shot very far above the 5, he's only having a little edge of the 3 ball. So that's why he's curving it, bending it around the 8 ball.
That corner pocket looms large for cue balls. Oh, got enough masse and maybe even got the cover.
Yeah, I think it passes the 6 ball, Kevin. So slide side of the 3 ball is there for Kasparas. But is there an attacking way? Maybe it is. Going around the 8 ball.
He could play the bank as a shot to nothing.
Yeah, but to get the cue ball to above, he needs to play it with quite some power, so he's going to duck and hide. Left it a bit too short.
Yeah, he needed better cue ball there because the 3 was always going to be in the open. Again,
I've seen
if he were to go on the offense here, Joris, to get back for the 4 is going to be very tricky for him.
Yeah, you've got to call Corey Jewell for that kind of shot, but let's see if Fabio has the same cue power. Looks like it.
Not a problem.
Wow, what a shot.
Was very nicely played, Joris. And
absolutely.
I'm just wondering,
yeah, I love it.
Will that 5 pass the 7? Because he might need to do something with the cue ball here otherwise.
It's going to be very tight if it's passing the 7. I don't think it has enough side of the pocket, so maybe he can already flick the 5. No, he can't. Now he played shape on the 5. So if it goes, he's perfect positioned on it. If not, he could play a roll-up towards the 7 as a safety. I think he tried and went for the shot. Indeed, he was. Not the best executed shot. He also wouldn't have had position towards the 6 ball.
It was clearly a tight opportunity. He felt that it did go, but it's 2 quite big errors from Fabio in the first 2 racks, and it looks like Kasparas is going to punish them. That's exactly what the Lithuanian needs to do, but just give something for Fabio to have a think about while he sat in his chair.
Nicely done by the 18-year Lithuanian player born in 2007. It's a Fargo of 745 and is now world number 92. With some nice right spin. Brought our cue ball nicely close to the 8. Can go forward, a little bounce off the right long rail.
Played it gently to hold the 9 in the other corner. And well, hasn't exactly been playing out of his skin and has been gifted 2 errors from Fabio Rizzi. But Kasparas won't turn that down one bit. He finds himself leading 2 racks to 0 in this alternate break matchup. And, well, it's not going Fabio's way so far. I thought he was going to have a little bit more of it considering his recent performances here in Antalya. But it looks like Kasparas has come here not intimidated in the slightest.
Oh, indeed, the Lithuanian laser is firing off the start, firing the start of the match. Comfortable 2-0 lead, and has the break off in the 3rd rack.
All following a similar pattern on our other tables at the moment. Dimitri Youngo 2-0 up against Petri Makinen, and Matthias Snagocki 2-1 up against Marcus Schleidner. Back to Kasparas. There's a little bit of a flicker with the lights. That's not going to affect him at the moment. Got shape on the 1.
Made a legal break. Shape on the 1 indeed, Kevin. And the 2 ball is a little bit of an awkward place. You can see that lying on the right rail. So to get shape on it, I think he has to play this with quite some inside English to stretch in the angle. I decided to shoot the 2 towards the bottom right. Not a bad choice, because now he can go forward with the cue ball to play the 3 in the side. Still, this isn't the easiest of shots.
No, can just focus on making the pot and floating the cue ball through. Would be unfortunate to put the cue ball safe here.
But missed.
Had to make sure of the pot.
Yeah. Oh, got a little distraction there in the back. I can imagine that.
Fabio thinks he's being transported to another dimension. Wondering what's going on out there.
Well, he's at least taking a look at if he can see full enough of the 2 ball, because then he would have played a stop shot. But unfortunately for him, he couldn't.
Nearly makes it.
Nearly made it in the side. Of course, it was a safety. But now Kasparas forced to play a kick shot, I think.
There's a chance if he makes contact it drops where it sat, although we did see the incident with Fabio in the opening rack. These centre pockets can be deceiving and unforgiving. He's coming around with a tracer left. Didn't pick up as much as he wanted it to there. That's ball in hand. A good result for Fabio. He's having a little chat about the background lights. Slightly off-putting, to say the least.
Yeah, curious to see if they are going to put a hold on the match to solve this issue or to continue play. For now, it looks like the referee has called that we are playing on. So the good thing for this personal rack is that he is now shooting most of the balls towards this side, towards the camera side. So he won't be distracted by the lights. And there it is. They kinda solved it. Fabio shooting the 5 in the same pocket.
Yep.
Still okay. Is the angle to go down towards the bottom rail, then back up to the center of the table. Now, if he is too straight, it's okay, because the 8-9 gives a very nice combination to the bottom left.
Played that well indeed. Loaded it up with topspin. Pushed it through 2 rails back for this 8, and I think Fabio just sat in his chair a small moment ago thinking, hang on a minute, I can't be doing this and giving my opponent such easy opportunities to steal racks. Needs to stop the rot. Looks like he's back meaning business.
He indeed is, Kevin. He's winning the 3rd rack of this match. Now trading 2-1. Fabio Ricci from France is 46 years old. Fargo 725 and currently world number 184. And with his decades of experience, is also known to be able to, well, slow down if needed, which can also take some younger players out of their rhythm. I do think that Kasparas is such a player who loves playing in a nice high rhythm. So that could be in effect later in this match.
Yeah, there's a few rotation players that have a nice pace around the table, and I like what you said. Those with a bit more experience just know how to throw them out of that rhythm, usually just by slowing it down a little bit more, taking your time. Fabio pushing the 2 through the gap. I'm not too sure if he's got cover there, you know.
I'm not sure either, but if this doesn't cut back, then it's a fantastic safety. And by the looks of it, he did got enough cover for the left side of the 2-ball. Therefore now even forced Kasparas to play a kick shot, using the right rail first before contacting the 2-ball. And as you can see, you sent the 2-ball all the way into the open. So you have to be sure, pacing it with quite some speed. Missed the 8-ball which lying there in the top. He did. Now needs some cover. And also fouled it, so a nice result for Kasparas here.
Yeah, very good result. Fabio does have the 1 rail escape. If he catches it thick, maybe there's a chance of bringing one of the balls around it into play to cover, but nothing guaranteed. He's gone in hard. And that little bump may have pushed it just where the 7 is threatening the pocket, so it might be a bit safer than we thought.
Yeah, he might play a stop shot, just get a snooker behind the free ball. Well, he made a kind of mess of that shot.
He did. And if Fabio can't see this too, there may be an opportunity to jump over the 3. The 1 rail, long rail escape looks to be on, but that centre pocket is not far around the point where he wants to be connecting with. So jump stick it is, Joris.
Yes, indeed. And if he would have kicked it from the right rail, then the cue ball would drive into the 8 and won't have a position on the 3. So there's a lot of value in jumping it. And I got very lucky making the 8 ball. Well, I said very lucky, but looks like the 9 is interfering.
Started off lucky.
Yeah.
Just picking his spot there. Probably
I would also like to play this from the...
On.
Yeah, I think so. I would have loved to play this 2 rail from the top rail on. Well, he hit it nicely. So at least he's got a lot of distance. I think this is quite safe. So a nice result for Fabio.
Well, it's useful to note that we are in a double elimination situation. This winner's qualification match, both players wanting to win, but the loser will go over into the loser's bracket and have a slightly longer journey ahead of them.
I was going to bump right into that 9 ball. So another good side of the 2 ball for Fabio. Of course not a real attacking, but you may expect Fabio to bring the cue ball to a nice place to find some cover. I think beneath the 4 and the 9 would be a nice spot to bring the cue ball to. No, he went full attack mode. Wow. I would not expect that by the Frenchman. Did miss it, but you think he left something? Yeah, curve shot?
Yes, and I think or even rail first, real deep and kick the cue ball round to the right. Bit like that, but if it's overhit, he may come down flat on it.
Yeah, the 7 ball got kicked away out of the line for the 3 ball. Now available with an open pocket. But because of the 9 ball, he has to play this quite firm, I think, Kevin. Going up and down.
He's gone across and across. That is a good angle for this 4 if it passes the 9. I'm pretty sure it does, by the way he played that last shot. This is probably the crucial shot now for this run out. Getting shape on the 5 and making it.
Well, that just decided to drop in.
Using all the pocket, and not a bad shape on the 5. And key for Budnikas here is to not let Fabio get this scoreline back to level. We know what he's capable of. If he can just keep Fabio at bay and pick off these opportunities, he could reap good rewards from it.
Nicely done. And indeed, back in a 2-rack lead, leading 3-1 in this race to 9. Both players do have a timeout option, but not at this stage of the match. One of them will use it.
Well, Joris, I was just about to bring some updates from our other TV tables, but I'm just having a look at the scoreboard. And bearing in mind we only started at 1/2 past the hour, There's some results already in. Stefan Kasper, our straight pool reigning champion, has beaten Faruk Terzic 9-0. Eric Matten of Germany winning 9-2 against Petrus Luka. And, well, quite Roman Hibbler 9-3 against Murad Fatayev. And I have to say, half an hour winning a 9-rack.
That's a quickie.
Match. That's a bit quicker than I could manage, I'm telling you that.
Yeah, that's absolutely, been a real race to 9, I think.
Yeah, they may have read the invitation wrong and thought there was actually a race involved.
Yeah, like a Formula 1 race to 9.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like there's a little gap there. Is it the gap for the potting? I would suggest it is.
I think so, yeah. Ooh. It was there, but yeah, there was some body movement involved again. Now, I'm looking at the 1-9 combination here. That might be too ugly to take on.
That's not a bad shout, especially if the cue ball's going high and the one's going to stay low. He's actually just going to take an edge, looking for the 6 perhaps.
Need some side spin. Oh, got a snooker behind the 2-ball.
It's Fabio looking at the 9. It was going in that direction, but he took the 8 instead, and the 7 has come into play. Maybe a little look at an edge for Kasparas, but I'm not sure that he's even got that, Joris. This could be a tricky little jump for him here.
Yeah, I would love to take the jump cue, but interesting to see that the young Lithuanian player is not directly taking his jump cue, but loves to play a kick shot. Now, to be honest, I don't like his pace there. He was always playing this towards that open table area. And therefore, I would have expected him to make, first of all, the jump shot. Or, second of all, play it with a lot of pace to find some cover.
Yeah, indeed. Pace would have been beneficial, I feel, especially to create the distance. Fabio doesn't need asking twice, but does his position play need asking twice? That's the question we're asking at the moment, Joris.
Yeah, well, I think the answer is that he snookered himself behind that purple 4-ball. I would love to play a little jump shot if you can reach it. He's now feeling it. Yeah, I can reach it, he says. So it's going to be a jump stick. And, well, it's just the edge of the 4 he has to jump over. So I fancy to get very close to the corner pocket at the bottom left. Indeed, it was close, but still a miss. Well, there's the second prize for Fabio.
Yeah, that is second prize, because on this occasion, Kasparas is not going to be able to jump on the opportunity.
Now I think the true rail is out of the equation too, because the 4 looks like a bit in the way. So it's going to be a 1-rail kick shot, which is pretty hard to... yeah, that's really tough. I can't blame him. I don't see any other option than to go for this 1-rail kick shot. But it was a little bit too much to ask for.
Yeah, it was a tough one. And Kasparas would have really liked to have been in position to jump on another mistake from Fabio. But on this occasion, Fabio is in with a chance now of getting the score line back a bit closer. He does not want to let Kasparas steal too much of a march. But more importantly, Joris, he wants to start cutting out them mistakes.
So he played a stun shot, and because of that, I must assume that the 4 ball passes the 6. Difficult to see from this camera angle, but it's not the easiest shots. This is missable. Wow. Looks like Fabio is a straight shooter with tons of power. He smashed them in, those last 2 balls.
Long time sponsored Predator player, and yet he can bring the power when he needs to. But I like the idea of straight shooting, and I'm sure he does right now.
Nice positional shot again. He felt pretty straight, so can't play for position towards the same, for the 8 towards the same corner. So looks like he's kind of forced to shoot the 8 in the left side or the top left. Either way, he has to bring the cue ball a little bit forward. He can roll this or play it with a stun follow through. No, he decided to use the end rail. Where's the cue ball? Wow.
Teetering on the edge, but that bounce it got off the short rail was always going to come this side of the 8, and that 9 is in the way.
He's down to the shot. He knows what to do. Rolling it up, but this is difficult. This is risky.
Oh, is there an edge as well?
I think so, and I mean to say that because of the face of Fabio. I think there's a little edge of the 8 ball hanging out, Catherine. Is it a swerve? Yeah, he was swerving it.
And that will be a sellout, I'm afraid. It did look like he could have got an edge. Unfortunately, he needed to do a little massé, and that's very difficult to judge. I like the fact he went for it, felt it was on. Fabio Erizzi now just starting to claw back in. Gets the deficit to 1 rack. Trails 2 racks to 3 in this alternate break race to 9 format. And just having a little look out on our other 2 stream tables right now. Dimitri Jungo is now 3-2 up, the Swissman, against Petri Mäkinen from Finland. And I think I just saw Mateusz Snegocki taking the 9 ball. He was currently 3-3 with Marcus Schleindler. It's a good chance it's now 4-3 as we bring you back to this currently tightly fought contest. No one player really running away with it as of yet. Fabio to break.
Well, nice break off. Made 2 balls already. And has a nice shape on the 2 ball. The only thing is that he is, well, very straight and quite a lot distance towards a 2 ball. So I think the only thing he can do is play a stop shot to shoot the 3 in the top right. Well,
very nice.
That is indeed a stop shot.
Jacked up over the 7. Full table. He'll be happy with that. Next ball after this 3 is the 5.
And that's not straightforward position 2. So decided to go around the balls. Where's it going? It's looking... Oh, again, it's playing with the side pockets. Second rack in a row that Fabio is looking for the sides with the cue ball. But
well, maybe
in this case,
after that tricky situation with the 2 ball in there that he failed to put, he must be thinking, well, there's no way I can scratch now.
At least not in the side.
Exactly.
And looks like this is going to be the first break and run of the match, isn't it, Kevin?
Yeah, we haven't had one yet. I have not marked it in the book. Very timely for Fabio. Score back to 3-3 now. And all that hard work from Kasparas being undone in a very healthy break and run. I do find, Joris, this alternate break format does just dampen down the ability for a player to build momentum, especially if they manage to get their break working, which it looks like Fabio certainly is. And Kasparas will be wanting to in quick order. And that's what keeps these matches a little bit closer, in my opinion, although, as we've seen, there is the capability of whitewashing out there, as we've seen it on the scoreboard. But yeah, unless the breaks are really going well, this alternate break format really does lend itself to some close-fought contests. It's enjoyable stuff.
Indeed, a lot of enjoyable matches we are streaming. And also this match now, 3 each. And I feel like the alternate break is slightly favoring the older or more traditional pool players like Fabio Ricci, who are not very relying on their rhythm and continuously at the table. Fabio can be a real grinder. Ooh, that was close, but Kasparas missed the one ball.
A line of 3 balls blocking his path. So going up and down the table. The one ball is on the left edge of the pocket. So coming from up this way, if he were to go a little bit right, there is a danger he may scratch in with it.
First of all, try to find some contact with the one ball. He gets to it and makes it. Oh, lovely shot.
Very nice indeed.
Now, where is he going? He can play offensive, but I expect him to play defensive. Maybe use a 4-ball as a stopper for the 2. He surely did.
He had to do that. It's the only way to generate enough pace on the cue ball to stop it. And did it very well. Not left much of a gap for Budnikas to consider jumping through, or rather over.
Now I think Kasparas is forced to play another one-rail kick shot. This time from the right rail. And as you can see, all the blocking balls are at this side of the table. So again, he has to give it a lot of pace to find some cover. Now this is about maximum that he could get from this attempt, because to get more out of it, he already had to about smashing the balls. So Fabio now trying to get it resave. Good.
He's got some
Look for a spot
good
behind
targets
the
to get the
4-ball.
cue ball behind.
Yeah, he might go for the 4-ball with the cue ball. He is, but well, if there's a gap, you can go beneath and through the gap.
Yeah. Now, if he takes this 2-1, what's the chances of him getting shape on the 3?
Well, I think quite naturally, if he does not play with lots of topspin, but more center ball, it could float over by the 6-9-7 to shoot the 3 ball in the same corner. Yeah, that's the line.
Yeah, good call, Joris. That's exactly the line he went. Didn't make the pot. Not too sure if he's left this 2 on. Cue ball's quite close to it, Joris.
Yeah, indeed. But that also makes that you can't do a lot with that line of the cue ball. So it's very difficult to adjust. I think he's playing very safe from the rail back behind the 6 ball? He is. But left a 2-rail kick shot from the bottom. Now again you can see, Kevin, that after contact the 2 ball will go towards that full open table at the bottom, at the top. So he has to play this with quite some speed again to send the 2 ball from the top rail back down to find cover. And again, he didn't play it with a lot of force.
Oh, is it going to go? Has it got the pace? Oh, it hasn't. It looked like forever and a day that it was going in that corner pocket. It just ran out of steam.
It surely did. Just underpaced it. And now Fabio to try to find a route from the 2 ball to the 3. Probably leaving it at the right side of the 8. No. Went a little further. And that'll work.
It was quite pretty.
Got a nice
that
angle. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, he's had a look at that 6, 9, 7 cluster. It felt like he just went, well, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do with that right now. He's gone back to the 3 ball. So now all about shape on the 4. He does have an angle. What can he muster up here?
Well, let's see how he is going to attack this. Looks like he is forced to open them up. Can he get close to it? Oh no, he's looking to play the 6 from the bottom.
Ooh, how was that bounce off the cushion? Did it bring the 8 into play? I don't think so. That could have been played very well if this 6 is on.
A little tap on the table where I think, was it a little bit frustration or was it just an accident? Looks like he's going towards the top corner. Try to open up the 9 and the 7.
Oh yeah,
made it.
That was a very nice shot. Held for the 7 as well, giving him every opportunity of taking the 7th rack and looking to push on from that break and run.
Draw the cue ball into the 9, I think. Still focus on the pot. Very well done. Well, some great shooting, I think, for Fabio Ricci.
Yeah, he's just starting to settle in a little bit more now, putting them earlier errors behind him. And this is when he does look formidable. Has already played very well throughout this European Championship here in Antalya. And I do feel that 9 ball is one of his preferred disciplines. Let's just have a little look out on our other stream tables right now. Dimitri Jungo is tied up 4 apiece with Petri Mäkinen from Finland. That looks to be an exciting encounter. And as you see in the back there at the table, Matthias Snugocki at the table. He's currently locked at 4 apiece with Markus Schleindler. And Fabio Ricci just in the lead. Perhaps for even the first time in this match, and more importantly, with the break and making balls.
Nicely cut the cue ball away from the 5 ball. Got some nice precision on the 2. Now from the 3 to the 5, there's a little bit of work to do, so he's going forward. Trying to force some kind of an angle. And that little nudge on the free really helped out Fabio.
Nope, doesn't need any heroics here. Just to float it down. We can leave just a stop shot on this 6. Well, Fabio just looks like he's picked up another gear, or rather engaged one that was flapping. That's certainly good signs for the Frenchman. It's going to give the Lithuanian something to think about. He does indeed, and pushes on from that break and run. Now leads 5 racks to 3 in this race to 9. And, well, he's just putting the hammer down a little bit now. We know that both players have got that capability of doing so. Clearly, that little break and run has woken him up a bit. Let's see how Kasparas reacts to this. Let's see if he's able to start bringing not only his break together, but maybe breaking and running as well, and just asking a few more questions of Fabio. He trails 3 racks to 5.
Oh, nice break off, and I also feel like it's a nice result because got a good view on the 1 ball, and every pocket is having a natural route towards every ball towards a natural pocket. Now I feel like I would like to stay above the side pocket, going up and down towards the center, and then back up around from the 2-2 to 3 around the 7-4-5. Sorry, the 7-5-9, that of course is.
Yeah. Yeah, I like what you said. It was a good break, and there's a little bit of navigation to do, but no development. He doesn't need to move any balls, wouldn't particularly like to move any other balls than the ones he intends to, so this could be the exact response our Lithuanian is looking for. Joris?
Absolutely, and to be honest, this is almost a must-win rack for Kasparas, because if he win it, it's back to 5-4, nothing wrong, nothing, all chances are open. But if he loses it, he is 6-3 down, and that's quite a big gap in a race to 9.
Yeah, definitely. If he has to sit in his chair now, 6-3, knowing that Fabio is starting to get his break working, it could become a big struggle for him. And yet, it's quite difficult at this point to say it's a must-win rack, but I'm completely in your court with that one, Joris.
I wanted to fall pretty straight on this 5, and I think he is. Well, I rather go down underneath the 9. He was checking both angles, but I rather play this with a little stun follow through. Oh, perfectly executed.
Yeah, I do like their stun follow throughs. So
yeah, I think it's one of the most beautiful shots in pool.
Yeah, nicely done.
Indeed, a little bit overrun it. But fortunately, Kasparas is a very tall player. As you can see, he can easily reach this without any extension.
This 9 to keep Fabio with just a 1 rack lead at this point. Very importantly done. Kasparas Budnikas brings the scoreline back to 5-4, and well, even though Fabio is starting to build his momentum. That is a very good way of reminding him that Kasparas is certainly not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. However, break and run from Fabio. Can he back it up with another? Because that would really send a message over to his opponent.
Made the one ball on the side, and it's a legal break. Not the best look for a putting angle on the 2-ball, and I'm not quite sure if that's worth taking on, because the 4 needs to be making a 4-7 combination, which isn't straightforward either. So I'd rather duck and hide right now.
I like the ducking and hiding, Joris. And that 4-5-7 is quite a nice target to aim for. I'm not too sure if he can aim for it off the blue 2. He's just looking to push the 2 into that cluster.
Yeah, he is. He's looking at it, but I find that quite dangerous, to be honest, because you might also open it up and you might completely sell out on this shot. Tempting some luck, I feel. Well, if you put the cue ball there, then there's no luck involved anymore. What a shot.
Small chance the 2 was going to drop off the 7. That would have really been a bit of an insult to Fabio. He has kept fantastic cue ball there, and world-class players, himself and Kasparas, fully capable of doing that. Now, can he get out of this in any way, shape or form with a legal shot? This looks a tricky one.
Looks like Kasparas is in one of the strictest prisons of the world, because how to escape from this position? What a shot! What a shot!
That's got to get a tap on the table. That was impressive.
Just the smallest gap, he found it.
Unbelievable. I really thought Fabio would put him in Alcatraz there. That was great. He may go on. He may go for this cut in the center pocket. I think he can avoid the 9-ball with the cue.
I think he might go in between the 5, the 6 and the 9. He is, but he overcut it. Now that little flick on the 6-ball helps.
Oh, big difference that. May be able to see it, but that last contact with the 6 really has made this much more trickier for Kasparas, and I think he can see an edge if he can. That 4-5-7 is still a good target to aim the cue ball for if he doesn't want to take this 2 on, but it looks like he's just looked at the potting angle. Perhaps he can see it.
Yeah, he could, but still missed it.
He could.
And now this is a very attractive situation for Fabio to start attacking and cleaning up these balls. Going around the 9-ball to the center of the table.
Nicely played.
Some very nice spots already by Fabio, and also this one has been played very nice. Needs to go, and it is. It needs to go 2 rails out now, I think. It's a bit too much of an angle to throw it straight back towards the 9. So gotta go 2 rails, long rail, and back to the center. Flirting with the side pocket. Again. Well, that was the third time this match, wasn't it, Kevin?
Yeah, and if Fabio wants to get deep in this tournament, they have got to be gotten rid of. Cannot afford to be doing that to players of this caliber. Kasparas, well, a thin cut now on the 7. Would have liked the cue ball to have come out a little bit further, and if anything, on a couple of occasions his position play has just been short and it's forced him to have to come up with bigger shots, and you can't guarantee the consistency doing that to yourself too often. So this 7 important and made. Is the cue ball going to slow up?
Yeah, just there. Very close in overrunning again, but this is very makeable. Especially when you're so close to the object ball. Oh, is the cue ball going? Oh, he really didn't dare to put any side on it. Because I think if he would have played some left side, he would also have avoided the kiss with the 9. But he played it dead center and therefore runs straight into the 9.
Left himself
Now,
a big shot.
Is it going to be 4-6 or 5-5? For now, it's not even, and this is a very makeable shot for Fabio. And I tell you what, I expect Kasparas, if Fabio makes this 9 ball, he well could take a timeout. Nicely done.
That was a big pot for Fabio there, and you have to say Kasparas is his worst enemy with regards to how that rack has just played out. He had it all in his hands and put himself in a spot of bother, and yes, Joris, it does look like Kasparas is now going to use that to take the opportunity for a timeout. Quick update on the other tables, because we will join them for a quick timeout. Petri Mäkinen has really put the foot down. He's taken it from 4-4, now leads 7-4 over Dimitri Jungo. And Matthias Snegocki currently 6-4 up against Marcus Schleindler on the other TV table. Our players have just taken a comfort break. Joris van Amersfoort and myself, Gethin Davis, will do the same. But we will be back very shortly for the next chapter of this thrilling Willis qualification 9-ball match. Don't go anywhere. Well, a very warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the next instalment of this winners qualification matchup between Kasparas Budnikas and Fabio Rizzi. Fabio, just in the last couple of racks, stretching a lead. He leads 6 racks to 4. My name's Gethin Davis, joining me back in the box for the culmination of this exciting match. Joris van Amersfoort, welcome back. Joris, what are we thinking with regards to Kasparas's comeback? Is it on?
Well, might be. Who knows? And
that one ball might have something to do about it. It looks like it's... Listen to me.
Yeah. This is going to be the first push out we will see in this match.
Yeah, that is a really good point. We have not seen a push out yet.
No, he's now looking well. Everywhere, of course, is quite safe. And he's looking to place it close to the left top corner. Now this is interesting for me because getting it safe from here won't be easy. Of course you have a full side on the one ball, but I thought give it back, and indeed Fabio is giving back a full side push out shot. And well, I'm not quite sure how to get this safe. Very thin cut on the left side of the wonders, so the side of the long rail. Getting the cue ball behind the 9 towards the 8 is an option. Well, he's tempting luck there, Kevin.
Yeah, I like it. I liked exactly what you said, and I like the fact that he tried what you said, and the edge that he came off was always going to promote the cue ball coming to the left of how we're looking at the screen, and bringing the cue ball round behind these looked difficult. Made it work. Fabio going airborne on this one ball.
What a shot.
Ooh. Well, a nod of approval.
Nicely done.
A nod of approval from Kasparas. Had to be made, was made. There's nothing you can do about that. That's all Fabio there. This too, somewhat tricky, but natural shape for him if he is to pot it.
He felt it was a difficulty one. Had to play it with no side, and therefore it was a miss. Hit it a little bit too thick. So I assume that he is used to play this with a bit of left side English to spin the cue ball towards the corner pocket. For now, nice chance for Kasparas. He's a little bit annoyed by the 6 ball, I guess, because that's a bit in the way. He thinks he needs to find a gap in between the 6 and the 9 to get shape.
I like this.
I find it.
I don't mind this.
Definitely. Now he
But
might have to draw this.
Joris, now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this isn't going to happen often in many matches we see with Fabio. He has given away a considerable amount of opportunities to Kasparas here, and I really do fancy that if they continue to come, he could start to build a bit more momentum, and as long as he doesn't run out of position too often, or miscue, he has a good chance of getting back in on this, because Rizzi doesn't normally make this many mistakes. He's normally a lot tighter. And if there was ever a time to take him on, I feel this is the time to do it in the winners' qualification round.
Yeah, well spotted there, Kevin. Indeed, there is some more table time available for Kasparas. And even though it was a mishit, he got away with it. I don't see any attacking. The combination is too difficult to take on, I feel. And the safety isn't easy either. Might take on the bank? Ah, he went for it.
Yeah,
wow,
and
that
looked to
little
draw
kick
back.
there.
It's
Interesting.
Just an edge.
He might play for the edge. He also might play this very slow from the top rail. I wouldn't dare to play aggressive and smash it from the top rail. I play this very easy. Just roll up against it. Oh no, he went for it. A small edge with a roll up is very dangerous.
Yeah.
No.
Had to be played with precision, and from that distance was always going to be up against it. He could find himself in another spot of bother here, looking to lock the cue ball up to the 5.
Yeah, and directly opened up the 4 and the 8 ball. No, he's not. He's going for the free fall, I tell you that.
Yeah, agreed. Now, after that 2 ball, this young man was able to contact in the last rack. I'm not going to put any escape out of his reach, to be fair. This is a tricky one.
It is. He needs to play a 2-rail kick shot. The line is there. But I was a little bit surprised that he didn't play it a bit firmer. Because if he would have knocked the 4 ball a little bit more up table, then it was an easy run out. And now Fabio is forced to go for a 3 foul.
What will he do here? Do you think he'll just play it up against, play the 3 onto the 6 and look to lock the cue ball on the 4? Or can he play it onto the 5?
I'm not quite sure, Kevin. He might want to avoid everything. Yeah, he's now playing the easier save to roll the cue ball up against the 4 ball. And this is horrible because now he can just go behind the 4 ball. I think there's still a gap available.
Now, there's not a referee per se to call the second foul. Did Fabio do that there?
I'm not quite sure, but I would assume he did. It is a 3rd foul. And there it is. Yeah, it's the 3rd
conceded.
foul. He's now asking, did you call it? No, he didn't.
Yeah.
They are agreeing with it.
Always a little bit tricky when there's not a referee there just to turn around and look at. You're having to look at each other for a short moment. But yeah, you know, great respect between the players, great camaraderie, and yeah, you could see Kasparas knew what was going on because of the way that he was ready to pick up the balls. But then you just don't want to do that unless you're completely certain, just in case, because that would be a ruinous way to give ball in hand. So don't see it often. 3 foul rule employed to great effect by Fabio. The Frenchman up to break, leading 7 racks to 4, and he's made another ball off the break, Joris.
He sure did, but no real shape on the 1. And I think he is forced to play a split shot safety, sending the 1 ball towards the 7 and the cue ball behind the 9-4-6. Well, it was the 6 ball to find cover behind. Well done. And that also takes away the kick shot from the bottom rail, so he needs to go all the way to the top rail. Another tough shot here. And this might be the 4th fall in a row for Kasparas.
Ooh, round the back of it, Joris. He wasn't far away.
Now, is Fabio going again for a free fall, you think?
That would really be salt in the wounds.
Exactly, yes.
No, they're all open.
Probably playing
everything.
Yeah.
So everything has a pocket, Joris. The 5. Well, as long as he doesn't leave this straight, he'll have a good angle to pop back out for. The 6 took a little nubble on the 7, and the 7 might hamper his cueing now.
I think so. Probably not putting any side on the cue ball. Oh, you missed it by a mile. And extra punishments that the cue ball is going to the side pocket. And Kasparas is not taking a lot of time here.
Does he sense that Fabio is just not getting it his own way at the moment, and he may sense a little opportunity for himself there? The scoreline would suggest that it's going to be a bit of a struggle for him, but like you said, popped out of his chair, eager.
Back to the center of the table. Well, not the easiest line on the 8, I think. If he's really straight, he could draw this back. No, please don't scratch in the bottom left corner with the cue ball. Got that out of the equation.
Important rack. Joris, this is a really important rack, preventing Fabio from getting on the hill and giving himself just a little bit more reassurance. And that will see him bring the scoreline back to 7-5. The Lithuanian still digging deep. And Fabio Rizzi still in the lead. I have to say, this is a good match. This has been a better than I actually truly thought that Fabio was going to get his teeth in, bearing in mind he's been playing so well throughout the last, well, over a week now he's been playing here in Antalya, and full credit to the Lithuanian. And you have to say, just trailing by 2 racks, Joris, it's not going to take too many mistakes. He could find himself back in this with a real good shout.
Absolutely right, Kevin. And indeed, it's a great match, not because it's a pure masterclass, which we have seen by players like Daniel Macio or Felix Vogel. It's more of a battle, grinding each other down. And of course, some great shots also seen, so I'm really enjoying this match.
You can see how much it means to them as well. This will be for a place in the last 64. The loser will move into the losers bracket and have a bit of a longer journey. Now, plenty of traffic for Kasparas to aim for here. I'd like to put Fabio in trouble after this shot. Is he just trying to roll it behind the 4? No. That would have been quite close. It looked like he may have even had a little go at the bank there. He's looked away with disappointment, Joris. Your guess is as good as mine there.
Yeah. Not quite sure what he's up to. So indeed, the winner will promote towards the last 64. The loser will promote towards the losers qualification. And there he will meet the Dutchman Joel Kartoikromo, who is already in 2 quarterfinals. So another great match is that going to be.
Very fond of Joel, got to know him here in the Netherlands. great ambassador for the sport, very loyal to the European circuit, and been doing really well. What's happened here? He's missed the 2 by a country mile. And as I was saying, there are chinks for Kasparas to aim for here. And I do fancy he has the confidence and the ability that he could just put it a bit more to the Frenchman here.
Yeah, I also feel like this match isn't far from over. And to be honest, if this 2-ball is gone with shape on the 3, it's not the worst table to run out. It looked a lot more difficult in the start of it. But now, if you find yourself, well, 4 to the 5 isn't guaranteed and 6 to the 7 is not guaranteed. Maybe he can flick the 7-9 here. He can.
Oh, nice spot, Joris. Nice spot.
Yeah. But it didn't really help him because now the 5 is a little bit more in the way of the 9 is a bit more in the way of the 5. And you can see that the 7 is still not available towards the bottom left. Got a little bit closer to that 8-ball, so hard work isn't done yet.
Yeah, I'd love to have a look at if that 7 has a chance. No, it doesn't. As you suggested, that 9 is spoiling the party. So, 7 does have other available pockets.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed. So work to do. Starting off with this very sharp 5-ball. I think he has to avoid the 8-ball. Yeah, that's in. How does he land on the 6?
Yeah, angle. Could try and float it down towards the 8-ball here with this angle.
Yeah, I don't really like that, to be honest.
Dangerous.
He's now also taking a look
It's
at
dangerous.
yeah, very dangerous. He's now taking a look at the 7 passes the 8 to the left side. I personally prefer that more if that shot is on. And that shot should be on because he's playing shape for it. And we have said it all week long, these side pockets of the Predator arc tables are not very forgiving if you enter them from an angle. An angle like this is missable.
Yeah, he's got to treat this with care. Made it. Shape on the 8. Up in the top right corner. Big rack for the Lithuanian this in the scheme of things as we're getting closer to the closing stages of this match.
Needs to stay down on this shot. Very well, a nice position on the 9-ball to close the gap in this match between him and Fabio Ricci. He is now trailing 6 to 7 in this race to 9. And indeed, he's closing the gap, Kevin. Not only because of the scoreline, but also the table time has switched towards the favor of Kasparas.
Yeah, yeah. And it's good for Fabio, this stage of the tournament, to be challenged. It'll be good to see how he responds. Just to let you know, over on our table 3, that match has just concluded. Matthias Snogocki went on a bit of a rampage towards the end of that match, and from 4-4 has taken it 9-5 against Marcus Schleindler, and books his place in the last 64. As we come back to see the result from Fabio's break, it looks like balls have dropped.
Yes, indeed. Balls dropped. The 1-ball just got the jaw of the side pocket, so stayed out. And in the end, a few bumps opened up the line towards the 1-ball. And now Fabio can take on the 1-8 combination. Of course, he can play safe if he doesn't fancy it, but at this stage, I think it's quite rewardable to take it on and keep Kasparas in the seat. It looks a very makeable combination. Gotta watch out not to snook yourself behind the 2 and the 3. But
yeah, that was my
very nicely.
Immediate concern. Now, he's just had a look at the blue 2 into the left centre. That's the pocket, as the 6 ball is certainly covering it into the bottom left. Just a little drag shot, take the pace out the cue ball. Done rather nicely. He seems to have done this a couple of times already, Joris. He's just sensing Kasparas coming back into it, and he just seems to be able to get his head down and fire it on through, and you just wonder why he doesn't do that without waiting for his opponent to come back at him in this match. I'm sure he's wondering the same as well, but still very effective.
Yeah, indeed, and life isn't always as easy as you think it would go. And Fabio just has to take the way the match is developing, keep on grinding, and be sure to take this 14th rack. Nicely done, and this should be the second break and run of the match.
Yeah. And to put him on the hill, Joris.
And indeed, Fabio did then what he had to do. Be sure to put all the pressure on Kasparas Budnikas with this break in the 15th rack.
Big break for him here, and still will need to take one on Fabio's break as well. I felt 7-7 was a good target for him. 8-8, well, it's a little bit more of a hill to climb. However, the Lithuanian has been performing well, has been making some crutch clearances. His opponent, Fabio, on the hill, leading 8 racks to 6. Kasparas to break.
Made the wing ball in the side, also the 2 ball is gone. So he has to continue with the 3 ball. And as you can see, there is not a real good attacking point here. But if he can see or feel the bank to the right side pocket, that brings a lot of value. Bring the cue ball back to the short rail. You are ready for the 4-6 combination if you make it. And if you miss it, there's a big chance that it's decently safe.
We don't want to send our viewers to another table, but Joris, over in the match between Dimitri Ungo and Petri Mäkinen, they are locked to 8-8. The benefit to us all at home is that Pro Billiard TV will have all their matches logged on their channel, so you can go and watch them back. I have to say, I mentioned it earlier, I watched back the men's 8-ball final from last night. I was thoroughly entertained, and there are quite a few more matches on my bucket list that I want to catch up on when we come to the end of this event. There have been some fantastic matches, and if you are enjoying it at home, please do like, share and subscribe. Fabio going airborne, looking for the gap through for the 2 at 3. He's played it well, really well. May leave a window for the 3, but great jump to control the cue ball. I have to say, I was going to say this could be an opportunity for Kasparas, but that 4 ball is not nice at all.
No, it's going to be really hard to attack here. He is looking for an attack to roll the 3 in and leaves himself an angle on the 4-6. But that's a delicate shot. Needs to slow roll this by, well, not a lot of miles, but very low miles. Did it go? It did. Off the 6. That's a bonus. I think I saw he raised his hand a little bit. So got a little bit fortune there. But now he's in a good spot to make this 8-7. I'll tell you what, Ketin.
For him, hasn't it, yours?
Yeah, it's fantastically. And I'd rather stay here watching develop how this match is going to end than...
Exactly. As you just look in the background, another monster match coming up. Felix Vogel of Germany taking on our current 10-ball reigning champion, Daniel Maciel. It's another good one. It's going to be like this now for the next few days. We are in for a treat, Joris. So, Kasparas.
Yeah, absolutely. Just made it.
Ooh,
yeah. Lovely position there. Oh, he's going to like this one. And what you mentioned already, Kevin, it's Daniel Maciel versus Felix Vogel. And if you want to see more German players against Poland, next Tuesday, 12:30, it's going to be teams match. And in the quarterfinals, it's Team Poland up against Team Germany. Another cracker in these European Pool Championships 2026.
Yeah, agreed. Tuesday, I'm looking forward to quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals of the team events, men's and women, all on the same day. 3 streamed tables for your pleasure as well. And until then, it's all 9-ball. Under 23s,
now liking
women's and men's.
A lot of action. And you can see that Kasparas taking a look if this 8-9 is making a combination. And by the looks of it, it does. And that really helps Kasparas because he left himself a wrong angle on the 7. But this looks dead on, isn't it?
Even I might consider taking this one on. However, they're never a given. Yeah, they're never a given. But this will be really important if Kasparas wants to have a chance of taking this match. He now only trails 1 rack. However, Fabio Rizzi, his opponent, is on the hill. Score very close, 8-7. And, well, I'm just looking in the background at Petri. Maybe that match has concluded, but it was sat at 8-8 between Dimitri Ungo and Petri Mäkinen there. I'll bring you an update.
In the meantime, it's Fabio Rizzi taking on his chance in the 16th rack. His final break of this match. Looking forward to see some balls down. And don't forget, there is a 3-point rule.
Consistent with that cup break. I think there's only been 1 dry break from Fabio. That will hold him in good stead in the tournament. Will it be a last 64 match for him next? Or will it be a loser's qualification match for him next? Okay, well, straight on this 3. Would really like to stay high on this 4 if possible because of where the 5-ball is. Maybe can come where he's putting his cue there and then drive forwards off the long rail to come back across the table. Clear. Certainly a pathway to victory here for him. Yeah. That was the crux shot for me. And as we've been mentioning a few of the scorelines and fixtures coming up, if any of our viewers are wondering where to find them, they're on the EPBF.com website. All the fixtures, results, times for the tables.
Now Fabio needs to find a nice contact on the 7. I think he placed this with top spin. He should be kicking the 7 out of the way.
It's a bit tricky, isn't it? It's you don't want to play it soft because you're going to roll behind the 7. If you go into it too hard, there's a chance that you're just not going to get shape on the 6.
Yeah, I'd rather play it a bit firmer and try to find the top side of the 7 from here to bank the 7 from the rail away. I stayed down, and this is the difficulty, because he's now sending the cue away from the 7, and or he has to take a cut shot there from the right side pocket, or he has to send the cue all around the corners. So it looks like he's going for the thin cut with the 6. It's going to be a difficulty one. Not guaranteed position. He's going around the corners. And, well, it still cuts. There's no need to do anything with the cue ball. Stay at the left side of the 9, going up and down to shoot the 8 in the right. That's what he will be opting for, Gavin.
Big shot. Knowing that any mistake now, Kasparas could be putting this into a hill-hill situation. Where's that cue ball?
Again, what a let-off by Fabio. That was really opting to scratch, and he's very lucky to be still on the table with the cue ball and having this cut shot, isn't it, Kevin?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to be picking the centre pocket as my penultimate shot.
Very nice recovered. Wow, what a recovery shot that was. Match-winning shot indeed by Fabio.
What
there it is.
Absolute.
Go ahead, mate.
I was going to say, what an absolute thriller. On all tables, we've been gifted with some great matches in this winners qualification stage in the men's 9-ball event. We have the women's 9-ball event and the under-23s event taking place alongside. As I mentioned, you can get all the updates on the scores at EPBF.com. And if you are enjoying the stream, please do like, share and subscribe. Up next, we have more men's, women's and under-23 winners qualification matches. So please do stay tuned. A big thank you to you all for joining us. And a big thank you to Joris van Amersfoort. My name's Gethin Davis. It's been a pleasure. We will be back very shortly for more 9-ball action today. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, Arya, Eric.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Eric.
Hey, hey, hey. Eric, are you there? I can see you're logged in. Hello. Hello. No. Oké, oké. We gaan zo beginnen.
Sorry, Jim. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Please
Okay,
check
good.
if you have the right mic. Can you tap your mic on your headset?
Yeah. It's okay?
No, I don't hear it. I don't hear you tapping, so it's the wrong mic.
Let's see. You're right, it is. Okay.
That better?
That's better. Totally
Way
different.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck, guys.
Okay, thanks.
Ding, ding.
Yo, bye-bye.
A very warm welcome back to another live match here on our table number 2. This is, as you can see, a winners qualification match, race to 7 in the women's 9-ball division. On International Women's Day, we'll have, well, arguably the greatest player ever coming out of Austria, Yasmin Ushan. She's taking on Miriam Steiner from Germany, and joining me in the commentary, my dear colleague Eric. Eric, nice to have you with us.
Hey, pleasure to be with you. Another look at Jasmine here, going for a second title at this year's Women's European Championships.
Well, Eric, will we ever have a match featuring Yasmin Ushan where we make her not the favorite?
I think she's the class of the field this year, but everyone's coming after her. Don't know much about Steiner. We'll see how this match progresses. Good opening break from Yasmin, making the 2 wired balls, 1 ball on the side, 6 ball in the corner. Looks like 3 passes to 7. A little tough to hold this one, but looks possible. Have to really drag this ball. Just enough speed to draw and not enough to come through the angle too much. Nice shot. Couldn't have hit it any better, are you?
No, absolutely a home run in terms of execution.
I think she'll favor the combo. The 5-7. 7's close enough to the pocket that she won't be too worried about it.
Just a fun little fact here, Eric. She is the current world 8-ball champion as well as the European 8-ball champion.
Yeah, I think she's approaching over 20 titles in the Women's European Championships. Just a staggering number for any athlete to win that many titles. It's just real special stuff. Nicely played and looking good for a break-in run in rack number 1.
How would you approach this shot? Off the side rail or the bottom rail?
Yeah, I don't mind thin off the short rail. Coming just to the left of the 9, 1 rail. A lot of shots here, not wrong to draw it. Picture perfect in rack number 1.
Yeah, this is what we've come to expect from this extraordinary athlete. And, you know, it's the thing, her opponents do expect that as well. So whenever she has a slight hiccup, you always tend to see, apart from a few exceptions, they almost act like they're surprised. You know, they more often than not fall short because, you know, they're not used to getting chances while she's at the table.
Yeah, and at some point there becomes an intimidation factor too. They talk about that a lot with Ronnie O'Sullivan and snooker. It's kind of like you're coming into the match, you know you have to play so well. And then, of course, with their class, they start the match. Yasmin or a good player will typically start playing well right from the beginning. So players are kind of under the gun, and you know, every once in a while they answer the call, but it's a tough spot to be in. Just took a look at Miriam's Fargo. She's at 642. So capable player. Has one down on the break here, but nothing offensive on the 1. Safes are tough. Aria cue ball's running into the 8 off the right side of the 1.
Yeah, I'm just
She's
trying
gonna
to
push here.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a look at where would I try and push this. If Yasmin can see the one ball full, she can just stop the cue ball, send the cue one ball of a couple of rails and hook her opponent. So I'm not so sure if that was the right option by Miriam.
Could be slightly overdrawn. If the one ends up on the rail, she'll have a chance at getting her, and she did. Check if that one ball's frozen. Kind of looks like it is. This is one of those scenarios where cue ball or the one might not hit another rail. Didn't get around it. Another open chance for Yasmin now.
Yeah. That was self-inflicted, the push. I mean, sure, you could leave her a shot at the one full ball, but at least the cue ball needed to be glued to the rail. Then that shot was not available to Yasmin, but you know, that's in the past now. Let's see if Yasmin can punish her for that mistake. So for comparison, what's the Fargo from Yasmin?
I think should be around 750 now, and Steiner's at 642. So 100-point difference. And whenever you have a 100-point difference, I mean to sound bleak here, but the match winning percentage for the player on the lower end is only about 10%. I could actually try to plug it in here and see what the actual match winning percentage is. Hard to believe though, Aria, that it's that low.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about, you know, when you have the favorites in any individual sports, whether it's pool, snooker, tennis, they're there for a reason. And you know, this is a quote you hear from a lot of the top athletes. They always say getting to the top is one part, but staying at the top is the hardest thing ever. You become the benchmark really when you're the number one.
Yeah, so in a race to 7 with 100 points difference in Fargo, the lower player will win 8.3% of the time. Seems low.
Wow. Yeah, that's staggering. So safe to say she will need a good start.
Yasmin can try to go behind the 6 here with the cue ball. Looks like she might actually have a bank. Could be banking a little too long. I think safe's the percentage play on this one. Problem with getting behind the 6 is she has to stun it a little bit. Typically when you're playing safe like this, you want to be playing follow on the ball. Yeah, had to stun it to get all the way behind it, but she's okay on top of it there.
Yeah, the cueing becomes severely difficult with that 6 ball in the way.
Especially on such a tough pocketing angle like this. Miriam's thinking about going on offense here. I don't mind the defense. Cue ball could play behind the 8.
What a great shot. What a great shot that was.
Wow, answering the call on that one. She's looking good to take rack number 2 now. Looks like Germany will have a strong team in the women's team event. Nina Kaplan also a part of the women's German team.
Yeah, that's another name that's been dominating the European circuit in the women's, well, pool billiards, really. Ina Kaplan.
Nicely done, and after a great opener on the 3, gets all the way through the rack. Back to Jasmine to break in rack number 3. Hit the break perfect on her first attempt. 3 balls down.
3 balls down, break and run. Can she repeat that feat one more time? You wouldn't bet against her.
Yeah, I think a world-class break and run percentage with these type of breaking rules would be around 40%. Didn't get it this time. Not legal either. Steiner's going to have a look at the 1 here. Likely cue ball behind the 2-4. 1 spanking into the 8-9 area. Ideally, if she can play between the 8-9, that'll play okay for the 1.
It's looking like she's playing the side to side. Yeah, she's got it, but I don't think it's too difficult of a shot for Jasmine to reply. Likely to jump this. Can even try and thin sneak this. No. Grabbing for the jump stick.
Good distance. Gonna leave a look at the 1-3 combo. Miriam had a good shot over distance in rack number 2. Believe it or not, this is missable considering how far the cue ball is from the 1 here.
Yeah, especially when the cue ball is that tight on the rail.
She's got it, and a shot at the 1. Good start for Steiner.
Yeah, I like the way she cued that one. Played it positively. So one player playing with a wooden shaft, the other with a carbon. Where do you sit on that topic, Eric?
I mean, I think it's preference. I don't think it's like golf or tennis where you actually need the extra power. But I think the advantage of not having to stroke at the cue ball is hard with the carbon shaft is still a decent enough advantage. I play with carbon. You know, when they first came out, they were kind of clunky and cue ball made funny noises coming off the shaft. Feel like you were losing a bit of feel overall, but they've improved to the point where the feel is very close to a wood shaft. I'd like to get an overall survey of the top 50 players in the world and how many of them are using wood. My guess would be between 10 and 15 of the top 50.
Yeah, like you said, these top pros are always subject to tests and what have you, because every cue manufacturer are constantly trying to improve on their products, so they need these top pros to have a go at them, to get their feedback of them.
Like that shot right there, that's where the carbon makes a difference. She underdrew it, but nothing to do with the shaft. See how aggressive Yasmin wants to get here.
See, I would play this with right spin. Come off 3 rails, or 4 actually. Top, right, bottom, left. So go around the right side of the 8 and the 9. Because there's a thin shot. It's a thin shot, so you really want to play this with a lot of right spin. You don't really need to do more than just the right. You need to make sure of the pace. Ooh, missed the 5 ball, and I think she's left it.
Yeah, it's going to be fairly straight and off the rail. Tough to get position here. She could lay off the full draw and just play position for a bank on the 6. Tough shot, elevated over distance. It's going to turn out okay for Yasmin. Cue ball's going the wrong way. Might have to play this with some pace into the side.
I've seen a few players refuse to take pots on like this, with this type of an angle into the side. Must admit, yeah, I understand they're playing tighter than your average club tables. I'm still surprised.
Yeah, she kept the speed down as best she could there.
I mean, she doesn't have to hammer this one in. She's got a slight of an angle here.
Caught it a little thick in the pocket, so didn't get as much movement to the right as she would like. Still available in the corner and still able to slow it down 2 rails. Using a bunch of right spin there to take the 7 a little thicker. Slow the cue ball down even more.
Would you go forward or backwards here?
Yeah, I think just a little draw is okay. Anytime you're on minimal cue ball movement, you want to look for that. Not any easy mistakes so far for Steiner. Just going to have to play well to hang with Jasmine.
Yeah, the only way to make it difficult for these top favorites is to stick by them. Try to, you know, go all the way with them. Of course, they're also human, so they're not immune to a bit of pressure. But more often than not, they're magnificent front runners. It's how they've made a career out of it.
A little thin there from Steiner. That's going to translate into illegal breaks, which it did there. Yasmin with an open shot on the 1, so won't matter here. But yeah, that thin contact kind of jams the corner ball out a little bit. Doesn't spread the rack as well overall.
And now she needs to take care of that 4 and a 5 ball. Doesn't want that to hamper her to play position on the 2.
Gonna have to draw underneath the 9 here and back out 2 rails.
Yeah, no. Possibly looking to draw straight into the 8. I think that's a bit risky.
Yeah, that'd play well for the 3. Nice shot. Perfect.
Yeah, that was as
Shot,
played.
yeah. Yep.
Now draw this one back for the 4 into the side. I think she can just land on the right side of the 9. That would be perfect.
A little short, might have to run into the 5 now, but you can try to push the 5 over the bottom right.
Yeah,
Nice if she
exactly.
doesn't have to draw it.
Anything between a quarter ball or half ball contact on the 5 would push it towards the side. Has she landed straight on this 5?
Yeah, she wants angle to come across. Pretty straight. Still is possible to punch out of it. She's looking for other options.
6-7 combo. She could even play a powerful back spin shot, but she's not entertaining that one.
Looks to be fairly direct. 6 should end up near the same area as the 7. Gonna have to
Try and
elevate so she can shoot the 6 in the same pocket. Sorry. Alright.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. I wouldn't follow this one through, so check the cue ball up. That's the only way to control the cue ball, really. Rightly so, taking a bit more time. This is the key shot in the rack.
Good shot. Didn't want to end up on the rail. Just avoided elevating there. Gonna have to elevate this time.
To be honest, I would play this with topspin, but maybe she's afraid for that middle pocket coming in the way. Tricky shot. Nicely played though.
Going to be 2 full table runs for Yasmin in the first 4 games if she's able to get through this. Coming back onto her break as well.
Eric, you teach a lot of pool, and I'm sure you also coach a few players. If you were Miriam, her coach, what would you have said to her coming into this match?
Well, I think you just got to be prepared to play your best and be prepared to fight the whole way through. You know, it's easy to get intimidated by another player, but really it's got nothing to do with them. It's just about yourself being ready to produce a high level of play. A little thin for Yasmin again. Looks like Miriam has the 1 here. Gonna have to land the cue ball between the 6-3. Speed looks good. Nice shot. 3 rails forward now. Perfect angle again. Miriam's done well with the chances she's had. Yeah, I might put her slightly above her Fargo rating. Didn't see how many games she had in the system. Sometimes European players a little bit on the lower side with that, not the #1 ranking system in Europe.
Yeah, I think the Fargo can be deceiving at times. Current form, you know, is very important. If you come back of a, you know, could be a life-changing victory. Now that Fargo might be a bit lower than is a true reflection of your overall level.
She has too much angle here. If she wants to get decent on the 7, she's going to have to come 2 rails back past the side. Lost this one. Good rack up until that point, but just got a little too much angle on the 6.
Now, this is something we talked about in one of our previous matches, Eric. I'm just wondering, you know, drawing from your experience, what subtle tells in a player's stance or pre-shot routine might indicate they're struggling with their stroke on their live stream.
Like a quick forward stroke is usually a good sign of that. Any kind of body movement. Players tend to get quick in the forward stroke, just kind of lose their timing. Some players might start rushing or even taking too long. I mean, Miriam looks okay here. But misses like that 6 have to be cleaned up for sure. Combos there, Arya, but
It's a tough one.
yeah, I think she'll be looking safe.
Well, you
Had it
mentioned
on-
it.
Yeah, had it on line to the pocket, but just a big advantage with knowing where the 6 was going to end up, cutting it directly into the 7. Miriam can take the 6 ball 2 rails back to the middle of the top short rail. Try to line the cue ball up with the 9.
Yeah, I like that shot. That seems like a high percentage shot to me. And the only main thing here in that shot is making sure the object ball is safe. You can be forgiven if the cue ball is not as tight, but that 6 needs to be tight on the rail. Ideally, of course.
Tried that, got a little wide with the 6. Would be a long, thin one here for Yasmin. 4 rails back to the 7 if she wants the offense. I think she has to. Nothing really to hide behind up table. So be to take a decent lead in this match. Got it, wants to avoid the 9, doesn't, but 7's still there. Interesting match so far. Miriam showing signs of hanging with Jasmine. Biggest mistake for Miriam was the 6 ball in this rack. Jasmine's played up to her usual standard.
This 9 to go 4-1 up. She's already halfway there.
Jasmine wasn't a part of the straight pool division this year, just coming over too tight a quarters, flying back from Las Vegas, where she had a good week. Made it to the quarterfinals of the Women's Las Vegas Open and the quarterfinals of the World Team Championships. I think they made it to the semifinals of the World Team Championships, Team Austria. Mario He and Max Lechner and Albin Ocean, part of that team. 2 balls jammed into the bottom left this time, and a shot on the 1, just what Steiner needed here.
I'm just wondering, even though that's probably not the case in this rack, How's the jump technology changed the safety play of the game?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, especially players like Febr, Gorst, you've seen them jump within almost a cue ball's length of the object ball sometimes. Doesn't even seem to phase them. She caught this thin in the pocket. She's overrun the speed. But yeah, the requirements on safe play are just so much higher now. Really have to get the cue ball up to another ball if you want to avoid that any kind of jump play.
She might get it safe, you know.
She did. Depends how much of the 2 Yasmin has here. If she has enough of it, she'll look to bank it up the middle between the 6-9. Gonna have to draw the cue ball to avoid the scratch in the bottom right. Touchy shot. Doesn't have enough of it, so 2-rail kick. Trying to hold the cue ball behind the 4-9. Distance in the pocket area. Not intended.
Quite fortunate because the cue ball looked like it was going to scratch. And, well, what a difference this makes. And now, I'm not so sure about the cut. Would you take this in the middle or, you know, take the long pot?
Yeah, position doesn't really work in either pocket. I think it can work a little more on the side than it can in the corner, but it looks like she is going corner here. Just gonna accept the long pot on the 4. Not clear if the 4 passes the 9. That's why I didn't like playing the 3 in the corner here. Typical safe up the middle. The cue ball is going to be running into the 9. Smart shot.
Yeah, nicely played as well.
Yeah, speed's perfect. Not a high percentage kick safe here, but gonna be trying to hit it squarely and create some distance. Just like that. Nice shot. Doesn't want it to come back over the side, and it's not. Jump is blocked by the 6.
I think Yasmin slightly feeling hard done by the outcome of that shot. She played a fabulous safety, but now she finds herself in a bit of trouble. Needs to play a similar type of shot. A full contact on the 4 is what she's after.
Good containing kick there. Could have got aggressive and played it with a lot of speed and draw and try to stick the cue ball behind the 6, but that's a very tough shot. Just went with the higher percentage one. She's held Steiner at bay here. She might have to bank the 4 into the middle of the table, but she's looking for the thin one. Tough to cut this one enough to get it going solidly back towards the short rail.
That's a mistake.
Yep. The 6 blocked the 4, luckily. Looks to be close to a double kiss. Playing the 4 off the right long rail. Got away from
Once
it.
again, excellent pace in the cue ball. Have a look at that.
Steiner's going to have to bank the 4 over to the right long rail. Side rail to side rail safe here. Wow. There is a shot similar to what she tried there, banking the 4 around multiple rails and kind of back to the same spot. I don't think she needed to play it on that one, though.
Yeah, whenever you take on these advanced type of shots and you fail to execute them, they tend to come off quite silly.
Yeah. Yasmin back in control here. Couple nice safes in this rack.
Yasmin doing what she does best, nurturing a lead and running away.
Big lead now for Yasmin. And the break to get on the hill.
Is there any value for Miriam to slightly speed up? Let's say by 2 seconds per shot.
Yeah, just kind of let go at this point. Main goal will be to break Yasmin's serve, and she'll need a shot at that point. Switching sides here. One ball's down, 5 balls gonna have to cross the line. It does. A shot on the 2. 4 ball is going to be the toughest ball in this rack. She can come 3 rails forward here. Needs a fair bit of left spin.
Just for our viewers who might not be familiar with the 3-point rule, can you explain how much of a portion of that 5 ball needed to touch the head string?
You know what? I'm not sure. Are you? I actually don't know.
You know, in some events, it's as long as it touches it, it's counted. In others, it needs to pass at least half of the ball.
Yeah, I think just for judgment's sake, the edge of the ball is a little easier to judge than the middle of the ball. But there is deferring rules there. Not quite sure what we're on here.
She might have to draw into the 7 here. Delicate shot. Put the 3 into the top right. Draw the cue ball into the 7.
Yeah, 7 or the 4. 4 could be a little safer. Catching different parts of the 7, she might not end up on the 4. Shot.
You called it, Eric. played to perfection.
This will be Yasmin's second breaking run of the match. She's played well. I mean, the only real open pot that Miriam's missed was the 6th.
There's a case to say that some of these ladies were slightly disappointed to see Yasmin still returning from Vegas and partaking in the European Championships.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty big favorite over the course of the field. But again, they'll all be coming after her. And she had a couple close ones in the 8-ball, Arya. I think she won Hill in the quarterfinals and the semifinals.
Yeah, and the final was 6-4, or at least it was a 2-rack gap. So, yeah, she had to work for it. That's for sure.
Linnea Hjalmström, Maite Rapero, Ina Kaplan, all contenders.
Just like that, she's on the hill, 6-1. This is all hers to lose, really.
One more round of play coming up for you today. Gonna be a little break after this round. Not legal.
No.
No shot on the 2 for Yasmin, but she'll be giving it back.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. Miriam just acted like she was not paying attention. She's like, no, you carry on. At this point in time in the match, if you're approaching the match from Miriam's point of view, all you're trying to do is make the scoreline look a bit more respectable.
Yeah, again, with the alternate breaks, it's a pretty tall mountain to climb. Yasmin could try to line the cue ball up with the 7-4 here. Has to avoid the 6 coming off the short rail, yeah.
Yeah, it's partially in the way. Yeah, that's the only reason she's gave it back, I believe, Eric.
Got unlucky there, found the window between a big wall of blockers. And Yasmin's going to have a standard distance safe, playing the 2 in the middle of the short rail. Going to try to line the cue ball up with the 4-7. 3 rails.
It did seem like she came around to have a look at the putting angles, so might actually go for this. I'll be a bit surprised though. Well, she's found the length of the cue ball, hasn't she? Every time she's played this type of safety, she's managed to create a lot of distance, which is very good.
speed there from Steiner. High percentage kick for Yasmin off the right long rail. Tough to play an exact kick safe on this one. Didn't have much else, and it didn't end up too badly. It's going to have to be cue ball behind the 8 now. A little too much right spin on that. See if she finds the window between the 6-7. Believe she has.
Yeah. That could be her last shot in the match. Although that 5 ball is not sitting at the best possible spot on the table.
Can draw out of this ball enough to draw over to the left long rail. Gonna have to avoid the 9 coming back towards the 4. Ideally would like to get enough draw that she can draw below the 9. A lot of angle there though.
I'm just wondering if that 4 ball passes the 7 to the bottom right. I would tend to say no, but we'll figure out how she wants to attack the situation.
Yeah, tough to avoid the 9 on that one, but she did okay to pocket the 3 and have something on the 4.
There is a case to argue that playing position on the 5 is easier if you take on the bank on the 4.
Yeah, I just didn't like the position towards the 5 there, in particular the 5 coming back to the 6. So I'm going to look for something better on the 4. I did like your bank play. There was room between the 5 and the long rail to get the cue ball moving a little bit. It's in that spot where the cue ball can catch the point and kind of act a little funny off the point.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to, like say, if you had had ball in hand, well, that takes the 5 out of the equation. Never mind. Well, this not helped her at all. I mean, yes, she spotted the 5, but no, I don't think she can get to the putting angle, can she?
No, she's going to have to kick safe here. Kick and stick.
Yeah, and she
Decently
stuck it
played,
up.
but the 4 is going to end up over the pocket. Yep. Well, looks like that's it for Steiner in this one. It's a good effort. I could see her coming back through the losers qualification match. From what I've seen from Steiner in this match, I think the German women's team is going to be real strong in the women's event. The women's team event.
Well, like you said, Eric, it's not the end of the road here just yet for Miriam. You do wonder if she will draw Yasmin later on in the single elimination. I'm sure this defeat will not really help her confidence. 7-1 is a, well, hammering really.
Yeah, Yasmin played well. Threw in a couple break-in runs, very few missed shots. And that's going to be it for this one. Yasmin moving on to the single elimination stage. For Arya Sarabi, this is Eric Horlifson. Be one more round of play for you today, and 3 more days of action coming up at the European Championships. Talk to you guys soon.